Hey, how you doing? This is Spring Piston Rifle Fever, and by the title you'll know that this video is about Gamos. Yeah, I was once a Gamo fanboy. I'm not so much anymore. So, I once was a Gamo fanboy, and what got me into the Gamo, and what I like about it still, and what I don't like about it, and why. So, I'll talk using my Gamo Whisper Fusion Mach 1. And I have my other Gamo sitting over here, my Gamo Hornet Maxim, which I actually have a steel coiled spring and a standard trigger inside of it right now because my Farman has the gas piston and the cat trigger in it. So anyhow, let's get to the subject at hand. So I will talk about the negatives first on the Gamo. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of Gamo people that are going to be mad at me. So first of all, the negatives to the Gamo rifle, as many know, is this synthetic breech block area. That's fine if they had plastic up here on the barrel. I still don't really like it. I'm not a fan of it. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of what's inside here. I'll show you what's inside. That is a synthetic plastic wedge detent. Now, they're going to wear out much faster than a steel coiled spring. What also I don't like about these Gamos is, like on the Gamo Hornet Maxim, I tried to remove the barrel from the forks here, and I couldn't get it out. I about burned out my drill trying, so I just stopped. I was going to see if I could do something about that wedge detent, see if there was a spring I needed to put behind there, or if I could get another detent to put in there, and I could not find one. So those are two major wrongs with the Gamo. I did take the bear trap out of this, so I'll decock it. The other negative to these Gamos are these IGT Mach 1 gas pistons. They're not as smooth as his steel coiled spring. These have a lot of explosion. This already killed a scope, maybe two, for sure. So that's not good. I don't like the gas piston. I have several gas pistons and I have several springers, and I will choose a spring piston rifle any day once it is shimmed or has a tune kit for it any day over a gas piston for smoothness and accuracy. What else don't I like about the Gamo? This recoil reduction rail, it's not a big deal, but this recoil reduction rail here does not work. This is clamped on here, it's tight. This does not move back and forth, this scope rail here. It can't. It's clamped down. The furthest it can move is back a little bit. There's not a spring in there, like the Diana Zero mount. There's no spring in there, so it can't move. It's just stuck in place. So those are three things that I have a problem with the Gamo. Personally, I would like it better if they had wood stocks. I like wood stocks better than a synthetic stock. So those are my big negatives on Gamo. Also, a big negative on Gamo, and other airgun producers are doing it, but Gamo led the way of putting how fast these will shoot. Maybe it can shoot 1,100 feet per second with an alloy pellet. I don't know. That's really fast. I'll tell you what this is shooting with the Crosman Premier hollow point. This is shooting in the low 800s. Anywhere, depending on the winter time and the summertime, because it speeds up a little in the summertime, anywhere between 800 feet per second to 830 feet per second. So it varies greatly. And there's going to be some people that are going to be upset and saying, you know what, my gas ram is the same in the winter as the summer. I don't believe you. It varies quite a bit. So now that I've bashed the Gamo a little bit, I'll tell you what I do like about them. I like this trigger. With an, what is it, 2.5 by 10 to 11 millimeter aftermarket screw right under there, right behind the trigger. There you go, you can see it, that silver one there. You can greatly reduce the break weight on your second stage on your trigger. you can make this trigger extremely light and crisp. That is a good thing. The barrels on Gamos are usually pretty good. It doesn't mean all of them are going to be good. And this leads me to another thing on Facebook. One guy was saying he wanted to get a 25 caliber air rifle, like a break barrel, and I was telling him what I thought would be a good one. I said the Hatson 95 or 125 would be a good choice. And I said, this is what you need to look for to make sure you have a good one. I told him about doing a pellet to bore test, which is running a pellet, pushing a pellet through the barrel and making sure that you had a good barrel. And if there's a large loose area in the barrel, it's junk and you send it back. And he says he didn't want to deal with those problems. And I said, well, you need to buy a Vyrock then. An HW 95, 80, 77, 97, one of those. So that's the deal with that. If you're going to buy budget guns, you're going to have to deal with problems. Like I said, the Gamos usually have good barrels. They're pretty accurate. I do like the open sights on this. They're not precision, but they'll do for garden work. If you got a bunny in your garden, you can drill them with this. This is not the quietest rifle for that type of duty. This is actually kind of loud in my opinion. I'll show you the rifle that I think is kind of more quiet. So this is my Gamo Hornet Maxim. Now, the problem with this one is the wedge detent. Now I got the gas. I got a steel coiled spring in here. Listen, hear any grinding or binding? Nope, it's pretty smooth. But that wedge detent is wore out, and I can't get this thing to lock up good. This is just a little bit of noise. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on camera. You really can't, but there's just a tiny bit of wobble there. I'll decock that. There's a tiny bit of wobble there, but this rifle here is quiet. This is for backyard duty. Only do if it's legal in your town. That's my advice. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. Like the video, give me a like, question, comment, subscribe. God bless everyone. Have a great day.